Hey, so I wasn't planning on recording a tournament, but I am just in case it turns out to be relevant and maybe there are bits and pieces that might be used for future content if I don't share the whole run anyways. So first bit of the run is I just upgrade my critical chance and critical factor and a little bit of damage and a little bit of super crit. These are all just to help keep the death wave up and running. I turn off chain lightning, spotlight at the beginning because this is not about earning coins at all, and I want to try to kill as much as possible with death wave itself. Naturally, I try to upgrade my enemy attack level skips and health level skips as much as possible. There are some other considerations that are to be made in a run as well. Normally, it depends on where you're at, of course, and if you're doing Blender, then you would upgrade this immediately. But since I try, at the very least, to maximize my death wave health multiplier as much as possible, I don't want these upgraded just yet. I'll do it later in the run, but not immediately. And the reason for that is that if I, for example, had the multi-shots, rapid, all these things upgraded too early, I would be killing too early after the death ring goes down. I want to hug them at the wall and then kill them with the ring when it kind of bursts out, or at least that the ring has touched as many enemies as possible before they die. So I don't want to really touch that. So I also don't touch attack speed. Thorns is generally fine once you have wall, you don't kill them that fast, and especially when I have black hole this frequently. So I can probably just max it already, but I just want to take a look and see how it performs. Knockback I don't want just yet. It actually should be fine for this tournament simply because I'm not going to be running orbs, and even if I had orbs, the battle conditions means that they need to be hit many times anyways, so but there's no point risking that. And of course, if I was running free upgrades, then eventually I would have both orbs and knockback, and I risk killing a lot of things outside the sync or like getting without being touched by the death wave. So that's why I don't do that. Similarly, that's also why you don't do shockwave size too high in the beginning, because imagine you have knockback, shockwave size, and orbs. You would just keep pushing enemies into those, so you don't do that. Landmine chance is especially one you don't want to upgrade when your enemies have low health, because you wouldn't keep killing enemies outside of your ring for a long while, so don't want to be doing that. I want all the kills to be either touching this ring or later on to get touched by it, but then just die it, whatever way it may die. So it's really just on getting enemy health skips and just pumping in some damage early on. What you'll see is that right now I should be running my damage cards. The one thing that I didn't do that you may consider, it's going to happen naturally afterwards, so I'm not too worried, and I don't see the big downsides, is you could at the very, very beginning of the run try to take some damage by turning off all the UVs, including Death Wave itself, to just get the Berserk multiplier before even starting it up. I'm not sure I see, unless you have like Death Wave Plus or some other reason to, I don't see the reason why you need to do that as opposed to just getting the Berserker multiplier naturally later on. But please enlighten me if you know of a reason why that would matter. But yeah, so if you know how the ring works, it's basically your damage, and once your damage has been kind of used up, considering the health of these, then it drops. And then every time you see it kind of recharging, then it's just basing it on your damage again. So You'll see it, of course, explained here. Persist until it deals, and then I have a multiplier on it. So until it's 28 times of tower damage. And then eventually I'll have to upgrade these just to enhance my survivability. And it's interesting how, well, naturally things are starting to pop through already. I kind of forgot about that. Do I really want range when this is... I kind of feel like I'm regretting that. I mean, it's fine for now, but I do wonder, at least now my black hole covers more or less my whole circle, which is good in terms of constant damage. But once my range goes out, that's going to be much smaller portion. Considering that this, once I feel like this drops to a sufficient level, I might just turn on the free attack upgrades and defense upgrades. Again, I don't want to do that too early, and definitively not do defense upgrades too early, because again, just getting one level in this could mess up my death wave health multiplier a lot. So we're not touching that at all just yet. So now you see my damage is increasing. I don't think these are the type of battle conditions that I would excel at, considering where I am. I do think that this is going to be a lot harder to get 7th like I did last time, but only time will tell. To almost go free upgrade on attack soon. And I gotta be, of course, careful, because right now I don't have much thorns at all. Gotta be a little bit careful with that later on to increase it a bit, because if you know about enemy hit, it means that every time an enemy hits you for the consecutive time, they'll do basically 4% more damage. And so that's something to be wary of when you don't have your thorns really applied yet. Otherwise you might suddenly be in for a surprise. And actually, maybe these battle conditions are in fact good for me, because they are a little bit like Orb Devil, because you can't do knockback and so forth. I do wonder if I shouldn't have done range. Now in hindsight, it feels like it does make sense to me, because you wouldn't be able to keep them out of the range and whatnot, and you would have constantly things hugging a wall. And please let me know in the comments if you're watching this. Let me know if you think that I should turn on my lab range or not for a tournament with battle conditions like these, where there's knockback resistance, where there's armored enemies, and where basics have ultimate. Let me know what you think, because I'm assuming that the black hole does a very good job of doing those hits. I'm assuming the black hole does a hit every second or so for those. Could be wrong. Now it's almost like the opposite, where I need to just be careful to not reach like the maximum enemies on the screen. We'll see what I change it to later on, but this would often be something that I would do. Actually, it might be even like that. Now pumping more damage is not really going to make a big difference though. So we can think about other ways to kill these bad boys. But part of me just wants to put in all the free upgrades already. My knockback is going to be reduced. My orbs are not really going to do anything. Shockwave will send him out for a bit. And actually, I might just max this already. There's no reason not to. Let's think about this. Yeah, there's not really any reason not to. It would just give me a little bit more breathing time. But I think it's going to be super easy to get the multiplier this time around. Last tournament run, for those who watched that, I had to micro so much. Whereas this time around, I'm not really going to need that. And then we'll pause the run for a bit, because there won't be that much happening for a while. We're just going to continue to upgrade the skips and kind of just take from there. We'll start to take a little bit of damage, which is kind of nice to see. And we're getting at 5.4. which is nice. Once I get to like 7 or something, I'll probably just max everything, because the rest I should be getting then easily while running free upgrades. Okay, so we're back, and now we have 7 multiplier, and I think from the previous tournament I was probably at wave 600 or something when I had 7, in part because I had messed things up, but the battle conditions was also different in terms of how easy it is to get the death wave health multiplier. But at this stage, when you have 7 and you're going to be surviving for quite some time more, I'm just going to start pumping everything. It should be fine to get the last death health multipliers. So now I just want to finish all those so the levels goes to the enemy attack and health skips. And I'm gonna change 1 card simply so that I can turn off that for now. I'm just gonna get free upgrades, and later on we'll turn off cash. Basically, now I'm just gonna be maxing stuff. I'm just gonna be maxing the cheap things, so we're just gonna upgrade everything. What I will not turn on yet, just until I got 9 multiplier, just to be safe, is chain lightning and spotlight. That's basically the only thing that's left in the run, and once cash is off, I'll just turn once cash is not relevant towards the very end of the run, I'll turn that off. I'll put on range, and I'll turn off free upgrades towards the very end and put in on ultimate crit, and that's really it. So this is gonna be a much more AFK friendly round compared to the previous, which was definitely, certainly not. And I see I'm almost at 8 already as well, so again, easy tournament for this purpose. Okay, now we're back simply to just add on chain lightning and spotlight. I have full health upgrade, so all of that is fine. We can also just max these. Oh, actually I didn't have enough, but I'll upgrade those easily soon enough. I've mostly been upgrading these. It's mostly just rend left there, a little bit of damage that I'll also get out of the way soon, but primarily I've just been upgrading here. That's really it, and then until the very end I'll change the cards. But now I have at least all my main damage ultimate weapons on, and this is starting to get too expensive to do with cash, that I might as well just finish these first. But yeah, that's really it. Alright, so we're looking at wave 800 right now. It seems soon time to remove my free upgrade card and add something more useful. I am starting to take considerable damage to the wall. I am contemplating what is the best target priority here. Maybe it's just fast and then closest. Maybe. I am a little bit unsure, or maybe I should just only do closest. I don't have the disable range for the black hole, so I think I should have it above. So I'm sticking with this, I think. But hey, if you got any comments on what you think would be a better target priority considering the battle conditions, then let me know. And now my screen is lagging a bit because I'm a dummy and I'm exporting a video at the same time, so my computer is having a little bit of a hard time. But yeah, well, I don't know if I should add damage card. It will be interesting to see if that does anything worse. Actually, one card I should already changed is I should just get rid of my cash card. And let's try to swap it with range and see if we notice any improvements. Wow, I'm really lagging. or if it's more or less the same, if it's better. But you see how big areas now that are not, oh, that seems really worse, which kinda indicates, oh, I probably shouldn't have, oh my god. I think my wall is down. Oh, maybe I'm able to save it. It illustrates how I probably shouldn't have used lab for range at all for this run. Wow, okay, I think this is the end then. It seemingly is going very quickly downhill from here. I do want to just try to put this, see if that helps a bit, or if it just makes things worse. What is it that I could add instead of my free upgrade card right now? Sure, it will add a hit, so it's better than nothing. I mean, it does add some extra hits, not much, when the enemies can anyways take 90 hits. Jeez. Yeah, so not much help. And I'm a little bit surprised about my rank. Sure, the tournament is by no means done. But I do find that quite interesting, that I thought I was going to be much lower, considering how I'm such a rookie and I still have so much to improve. Of course, nice with the 101 levels to my modules, but a lot of those substats needs to be rolled. My dimension core is still a single epic. So much to improve, which is nice in a way to know that I have a lot of areas to improve upon. But I really didn't expect to potentially I say, because who knows what might come behind me here. Yeah, okay, surely gonna crush me. And if I didn't do range, I'm sure I could have gotten a fair bit further, but I am definitely not gonna do a rerun just for that. I don't think that's worth it. So yeah, I think we might check back just once I'm dead, but this is basically it. Alright, here we are. I thought maybe there was a chance for me to get third, but I guess not. These are the stats we're looking at. For some reason, it almost seemed like a bug, but towards the end, my black hole was down constantly, almost like it was shut off. It's weird, but again, I'm not complaining. I think this was the best I could do, and I see there are some coming to get me, so I'm not promoting, but still happy about that. I see this guy is definitely passing me any second, so maybe I end up 5th, 6th, maybe this time, maybe 7th again, roughly around there. Maybe if I removed range, I would get a little bit further, but not much. Wait, I'm confused. Now it says I'm 3rd. Oh, did it show something wrong for some second? I don't know. I have to look back at that. Surely it said rank 4. And I mean, of course, these guys are passing me, but it's very confusing. Again, I do not expect to be able to stay here. I think that these guys, especially these two, are gonna beat me. There might be some other strong contenders below as well. All of these have higher PB than me, so we'll see. Anyways, thank you for watching.